Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. We got the XRP chart up here, and guys, not too much action happening today. XRP trading right now at about 23.203 cents. But this volume down here is maintained quite steadily over the last couple of months now. So this volume has increased since the crash of mid-March. You guys can see down here, look at how low the volume was here, and now look at how the volume has risen since the crash after the beer flu pandemic basically shut down economies around the world. So that's an interesting thing to note. It isn't really increasing price drastically, nor is it plummeting the price drastically either. It just goes to show you, though, that there are more traders, more sellers and buyers in the space as of now. And Bitcoin, guys, on the daily, we can see Bitcoin still kind of moving in this zone up here. Are we going to see it go down to 7,100? Is it going to spike past 10,500? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. Nobody really knows at this moment in time. And you can see here the market cap is at 275.9 billion. So increasing a little bit. Bitcoin dominance going down just a wee bit at 64.8%. And Bitcoin trading at 97.24, up 1.43%. And guys, you can see a little bit of green in the space, not too much. And as I just demonstrated earlier in the charts, that is the name of the game for most cryptos. Ethereum, climbing up a little bit too, but still hasn't reached this inter-year high. I was told that Stellar is actually doing quite well. So Stellar up to 0.081 cents, almost reaching its high before the collapse. So doing quite well. But we're still waiting for a big move for Bitcoin to either climb or fall. Then we got to make a decision. If it falls, do you buy the dip? If it climbs, will we surpass 10,005 and on our way to 14,000 for Bitcoin? That's the next stop. And then you know what's after that, guys? 20,000 per BTC. Some are wondering why XRP isn't moving as well as, let's say, Stellar, for example. I was reading Twitter and some people were mentioning that they were a little upset, obviously, because XRP, why is Stellar, outpacing XRP in this spec run? Well, guys, not all cryptocurrencies move the same. And you've got to remember, this is still a spec run. We know that XRP doesn't move on news. This has been clear. This has been clear for the last 2.5 years. But Martin Volk, I know you guys know Martin on Twitter. He tagged me in this theory with regards to XRP price action, and it's really, really easy to understand. He gives a great example. I'm going to get into that later. Right now, I just want to talk about this, though. XRP claims one of the top spots on Santiment's emerging trends. So here are the takeaways. Ripple's XRP has entered one of the top spot in Santiment's emerging trends page. Crypto Twitter activity soars as interest in digital assets rises in 2020. And I wonder why interest in digital assets is rising in 2020. Could it have anything to do with the fact that the economy is shut down and people are worried about their money? They're worried about their investments. And so can they get into something alternative that perhaps they can safeguard, they can hedge against this terrible economy that we're suffering through at the moment? So Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP has claimed one of the top spots on the Sanitment emerging trends page. Sanitment is a cryptocurrency analytics firm tracking a variety of metrics, including social volume. So here's a tweet from Sanitment, actually. XRP has entered the top spot on Santiment's emerging trends and has seen massive social volume spikes. These are potential indicators of an upcoming decoupling from Bitcoin. So keep an eye on Ripple's upside since these spikes aren't pump related yet. So a possible decoupling from Bitcoin. And guys, you know this can happen at any moment. We saw XRP go from 25 cents to $3.80 in 3 weeks, just 3 weeks. And so it would be foolish for us to think that that could never happen again. And that was in 2017 when nobody was talking about Ripple, when everybody was talking about Bitcoin. Now, Sanitment is actually saying that there is an uptick for XRP on their trends page, and it could mean that an upcoming decoupling from Bitcoin is in the cards. We'll just have to wait and see. Also, Ripple's Australia ODL corridor reaches new liquidity highs. So Ripple's on-demand liquidity ODL platform allows financial institutions to source liquidity nearly instantly and at a relatively cost-effective price. The ODL platform is part of Ripple's flagship offering, RippleNet. And guys, look at this. The Australian corridor seeing new all-time highs. This has just been surging over the last week or so. We've been seeing it in basically every corridor other than the Philippines. I remember the Philippines wasn't doing as much activity. But Australia, Europe, Mexico, all doing significant numbers for ODL, and we're seeing it top all-time highs as the days go on. This is great news. We're seeing more activity in these corridors. More payments are being sent. And as we're looking at this ODL and we're saying more payments are being sent, there still really isn't enough to move the needle based on real-world utility. Like I said, guys, I'm going to get to the theory in a bit. Martin Volk here on Twitter posted this. MoneyGram launches partnership with Rajhi Bank to transform Saudi Arabia cross-border payments market. So they announced today, MoneyGram that is, and actually they announced it yesterday, that it has entered into a strategic partnership with Rajhi Bank, the largest Islamic bank in the world, and Tawil Al-Jahi, the remittances arm of the Rajhi Bank, to provide money transfer services in Saudi Arabia. The partnership covers both digital and walk-in channels and will enable strong customer growth in one of the world's largest remittance markets. So MoneyGram now partnering with these banks in Saudi Arabia. So 2018, 2019 saw a lot of Ripple partnerships. Ripple kind of moving around the world where they're partnering with India, they're partnering with this country, with that country, whoever. And now we're starting to see, since the partnership with MoneyGram back last year in June 2019, I think that this might be an ongoing trend that we'll start to see MoneyGram partnering with different banks around the world now to kind of cast that net out even larger. So in a quote, here it is, this partnership is an important milestone that capitalizes on recent strategic investments in major receive markets, said Grant Lyons, MoneyGram's chief revenue officer. Over the last few months, we've expanded with new partners in India, Egypt, Pakistan, and the Philippines, just to name a few. All of these markets are key recipients of transfers from Saudi Arabia, and customers will now benefit from this customer-centric integration with Rajhi Bank. And so a little bit more info on this and why this corridor is important, guys. According to the World Bank, Saudi Arabia is home to over 11 million immigrants who send about $33.6 billion in remittances, making it the second largest country for outbound flows. As one of the most innovative banks in Saudi Arabia, Rajhi Bank continues to integrate the latest technologies to provide customers with multiple options to send money. MoneyGram will work with Rajhi Bank to provide customers with multiple payout services, including cash, account deposit, and digital wallet capabilities. So moving into the future, we know the Saudis love to stay on the cutting edge of technology, and so this just seems like a match made in heaven. We also got this from the XRP Arcade. XRP added to crypto lending platform CoinLoan. So CoinLoan is a P2P lending platform for crypto-backed loans. It was incorporated in 2017 in Estonia. And they just announced this, guys. CoinLoan adds XRP. So on June 1st, CoinLoan announced that XRP could be used as collateral for crypto-backed loans or for earning interest. Good news for XRP hodlers. Ripple is now available on CoinLoan. Let us introduce XRP, a new coin listed at CoinLoan. It's now available as collateral for crypto-backed loans and as an asset and then the tweet goes on here. Let's see what it says here. Asset to earn up to 5.7% APY with CoinLoan interest account. Good news for XRP hodlers. So now you can use your XRP in order to collateralize a loan with CoinLoans if that's something you're interested in. So some takeaways here. XRP can now be deposited or withdrawn from my wallet, CoinLoans wallet. XRP is now available in interest account. Users can deposit their coins and earn 3.7% annually with a possibility to raise the rate up to 5.7% thanks to CLT staking. Users can deposit XRP as collateral to borrow stable coins. So give some examples there. TUSD, USDC packs, and USDT, and BUSD or other fiats. And then on crypto exchange, XRP is now available in couples with stable coins. So again, gives you the list of stable coins that you can couple with your XRP if you so choose to do so. A little table down here demonstrating what you can do. You can earn interest on, you can borrow, you can use as collateral, and gives you the different combinations there. So guys, great news for the XRP ecosystem. If you have XRP, want to use it to leverage more borrowing, you can do so on CoinLoan. Just one of the possibilities there. By no means is this financial advice. Just letting you know what's out there, guys, for you to make decisions about your XRP and how you could possibly add to your portfolio. We got XRP Crypto Wolf here on Twitter. The InterWork Alliance has launched with over 35 members, including, guys, Accenture, IBM, Hashgraph, UBS, ING, Microsoft, Nasdaq, and R3. So this is a new project. On Tuesday, the InterWork Alliance, the IWA, formally launched operations as a platform-neutral, nonprofit organization dedicated to creating the standards framework needed to increase innovation across token-enabled ecosystems. That sounds complicated. The new organization has already 36 members, including tech firms such as Accenture, IBM, Microsoft, banking and exchange firms ING, Nasdaq, SDX, and UBS, and blockchain companies Digital Asset, Neo Global Development, Hedera, Hashgraph, and R3. So these companies want to be able to create token-based business models without having a platform technology in mind. For this approach to work, standards are urgently needed around defining what a token is and how its contractual behaviors will work, said InterWork Alliance President Ron Resnick. So what does this go back to, guys? It goes back to crypto regulation because he's talking here. They have to define, they urgently need definitions around what a token is and how it works. So each token needs to be defined because this company wants to create token-based business models without having a platform technology in mind, which sounds to me also that interoperability is going to be a central part to this. The InterWork Alliance chairman, Marley Gray, the principal architect for Microsoft, noted in his blog post, the modern concept of tokenized value is not new. It first came from the blockchain space. Okay, it gives us some background on that. But it was pretty clear to us that there's no need to tie tokens to blockchain, and that blockchain is really just the first step in what is a much larger, more ambitious approach to looking at how organizations work together. So they're talking about a bigger concept here, using blockchain technology in order to perform different tasks for different companies, and how they can essentially, what's happening right now is that everything is its own thing, and what they want to do, what it sounds like to me, is that they want to streamline the approach for companies. And like I said, interoperability will be the key. How will they be able to do it? Well, of course, part of it is going to be cryptocurrency regulation and finding a way so that everything can be interoperable together. I thought it was interesting to see Accenture on the board, R3 on the board, 2 Ripple partners, which is good news. I think UBS is actually partnered with Ripple as well. Don't quote me on that, though. So thanks so much, XRP Crypto Wolf, for posting that. We also got this from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter. So now Bitstamp users are now able to trade XRP against the British pound, the GBP. XRP/GBP goes live on Bitstamp Exchange. Support for Stellar is also coming soon. You can now trade XRP along with some other major cryptocurrencies against the British pound on Bitstamp. So for those of you guys who are trading in GBP now, there's an XRP trading pair to go along with that. Here's the tweet from Bitstamp. All other types are now available on our Ethereum GBP and XRP GBP pairs. We'll keep you posted as we continue rolling out GBP trading pairs. So clearly a lot of people in the UK have been wanting this, and now Bitstamp is delivering. And zero-fee trading. So Bitstamp started accepting GBP deposits on June 1st during the transfer mode phase of listing the new fiat currency. Starting from June 3rd, all 6 new trading pairs, including the XRP trading pair, went live. The exchange's users are able to place different kinds of orders now that there is sufficient liquidity. It is worth noting that Bitstamp users will be able to trade all GBP pairs without paying fees for 3 months from their listing. So again, great news, and thanks so much, Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, for posting that. Also, another milestone in the crypto space. This tweet here from Ripple Rich at Rich Ripple on Twitter. And Crypto.com, that website that was lucky enough to get that domain name, becomes the first cryptocurrency company in the world to achieve ISO/IEC 27701:2019 certification. And for those of you guys who do not know what that is a privacy standard. So Crypto.com today announced it has achieved this certification after rigorous third-party privacy audits, making it one of the first companies in the world, guys. So this is a milestone for a cryptocurrency website in general, making it one of the first companies in the world and the first fintech and cryptocurrency company to achieve this coveted privacy certification. So ISO/IEC 27701:2019 is a milestone in privacy risk management as the world's first standard outlining privacy implementation guidelines for data protection around personally identifiable information, PII, within the organization. The audit was conducted by SGS, a leading inspection, verification, and certification company recognized recognized globally with over 2,600 offices around the world. So one of the first, or the first fintech company rather, and it is also a cryptocurrency company to receive this certification. Are we going to see more companies get this? Is this going to be a new trend? Crypto.com was the first. They are an exchange, but think about all the exchanges around the world and think about the necessity for privacy around the world, especially when it comes to millions and millions of dollars of investments. When Wall Street type traders start pumping money into the space, like I said, it's going to make this number look like a pittance one day. And Wall Street's really not going to be interested in investing in cryptocurrency if it isn't fully regulated. So another step in the right direction. For a cryptocurrency company to achieve this privacy certification, I think the optics of this looks good. It demonstrates that the cryptocurrency industry can be a legitimate industry. It demonstrates that not all cryptocurrencies are fraud coins or are involved with criminal activity. It essentially will separate that ideology that people had with Bitcoin from way back when to a new type of ideology for legitimate cryptocurrency use. So it's great. We've got Crypto.com being the first to receive the certification. I'm sure we will see others down the road. Going to continue on here, guys. XRP Crypto Wolf posted this. Japan's JCB joined a card consortium with Sumitomo Mitsui Card and Card Seizen, led by SBI Ripple Asia for payment card industries utilizing blockchain. Back in 2017, Japan's JCB picks FIS for cross-border QR code payments. So many dots are being connected, as he points out here. And the web just keeps growing and growing and growing. So Japan's JCB picks FIS for cross-border QR code payments. So as consumers seek greater speed and convenience in their payment transactions, merchants are increasingly adopting QR codes and other digital payment types. The World Pay from FIS 2020 Global Payments Report found the digital wallets now account for 58% of regional e-commerce purchases and are expected to reach almost 70% by 2023. So this is how fast this digital economy is growing, at least in Japan. Digital wallets also now surpass cash at the point of sale, accounting for 36% of in-store sales in 2019. So JCB, a leading international payment scheme based in Japan, was looking for a technology provider to help it drive acceptance of QR payments among customers as part of its quest to be the preferred card brand. And JCB chooses FIS because of its global footprint, deep network of local acquiring licenses, and for the advanced capabilities of FIS's Payments One switching and acquiring service platform. So guys, this is really big. If you did not know, back in 2017, FIS did talk a little bit about Ripple back then, and some were speculating that they were integrating with RippleNet back in late 2017, early 2018. So the fact that this is occurring just makes it sound like it's definitely on the radar, increasing cross-border efficiency, improving the customer experience, as it's mentioned down here in this quote, by integrating QR payments for JCB cardholders through our Payments One switching platform and acquiring services platform. Our partner banks will now have a way to deliver QR-based payments faster than before. Don't know if you guys remember, but there was also some rumblings about WorldPay teaming up with Ripple with regards to this Amazon article from back in 2019. Yes, March 2019. Amazon teams up with WorldPay. Is Ripple in the cards? And there was some hints pointing towards that. Anyways, these are older articles, guys, but the dots are being connected. Interesting to see this occurring. So I got to thank Crypto Wolf, XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter for pointing that out. And guys, if you're wondering about XRP price and why we're not seeing it why we're not even seeing it move based on any kind of news, I think Martin Valk hits the nail on the head with this next tweet thread. So I got to thank Martin. Martin, thank you very much. He reached out to me and he wanted to explain his take on XRP price. Now, this isn't guaranteed 100% that this is the way it works. This is his theory, but I think it's positive to talk about it. Add to the Twitter thread if you guys have some input on this. But it's a pretty sound theory as far as I'm concerned. And going back to what I was saying earlier when I was discussing the ODL corridor in Australia, we're seeing new highs and we're feeling like, well, new highs, that should mean the price of XRP should continue to go up. Well, here's what Martin explains with this tweet thread here. So he explains it this way. So many people are fixated on the price of XRP and don't understand why it is not rising. I'm going to try to explain what I believe to be true in a way that can be understood by people who know absolutely nothing about finance. And I think that is important first and foremost. A lot of people in this space have no financial background, and so maybe Martin's analogy can help you out. So visualize the economy as a massive car engine and XRP as the oil that lubricates the whole system, taking away all the friction and making sure everything runs smoothly. Now visualize the oil sump. The oil sump contains the engine oil required for lubrication when not in use at the bottom of the engine. In this case, the sump is full of all the XRP that is not being used. And so for those of you guys who need a visualization, this is a oil sump, just an example of that. It catches the oil that is not being used and it is stored in here until it is ready to be used. So you got to visualize this, okay? Now let's link the price of XRP to the level of the oil in the sump. The more that is moving around the engine, the less that is in the sump, and the higher the price. Simple supply and demand applies here. However, he says, after use, the oil, or in this case the XRP, returns back to the sump, which causes the price to drop back down again. The strength of XRP is its speed, but this is also the price's weakness, because it is able to return to the sump before more is needed. So you got to think, XRP is a fast cryptocurrency. When it is needed, it goes through, it lubricates the engine, it does its thing. It makes the engine move, it makes the car move. But when it is not needed, it returns to the sump, waiting for it to be needed at a future time. In order for the price to rise, we need the engine to be continuously running, not just more use cases, but actual in-flight XRP. It needs to be a continual, perpetual motion is what he's suggesting here. XRP unlocking all of the Nostro and Vostro money is great, but that alone won't affect the price, much as XRP is so fast and it's only needed during the actual transaction. Once we get institutional money moving around the world, we will see the engine revving up and the oil, XRP, continuously being pumped around, causing the level in the sump to stay low. So XRP in the ecosystem is what he's suggesting. None in the sump is what he's saying. There'll be so much need for it because the massive quantity around the world will be needed that the 100 billion guys will be all used up. And not only that, for those higher value payments, the price of XRP will need to be higher in order for those types of transactions to be executed. So he continues, as technology advances and continuous streaming micropayments become the norm, the demand for oil, or XRP in this case, will become even higher, driving the price up even more. And a side note, which I thought was brilliant, your car engine uses up a little bit of oil as it is being used, just like XRP has its burn rate, which is true. The only difference is that you can top up your oil every now and then, and there is a limited amount of XRP. This is to drive up the price ever so slightly, but eventually. I hope I have been able to explain my understanding of XRP's price action a little bit, but I would really like to hear from all of you what your take is on this. Please give me feedback. So guys, if you are not following Martin, he's one of the great thinkers in the space. Follow Martin. He's at MartinCPVolk on Twitter. Got some great insight, got some great perspectives on XRP. And this to me sounds exactly like what is happening today. We are seeing movement, we are seeing increases in ODL, but this is still not enough to really get that price up because it's still such a small amount to what the real potential for XRP will be down the road. I know one guy who I think would be able to speak to this, and so maybe we should also tag him in this tweet. David Schwartz, thoughts? I'd love to hear what all you guys think about this. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.